Well, lots of our members were talking to us about the difficulty of competing for contracts, the difficulties of commissioning and procurement in their local areas, that actually they were losing out for large, pre-packaged, large-scale contracts that were going to outsourced, remote organisations, losing the benefit that that community organisation could bring and actually not being cost-effective. So what we decided to do was to use the stories from our members and also to get some really solid economic evidence together, which is why we commissioned the report, worked in partnership with Vanguard Consulting on it, to set out the case and tell the world in a way that government would respond to, that people would really understand the evidence, that we knew that our members were facing.
Our trustees are local people, our volunteers are local people, our employees are local people. So locality is very much in our DNA. So I believe the success of Morey Hall has been one reason, and that's we're very much a local organisation, listening to local needs and responding to local services. And what's probably good for Sandwell and West Midlands might be different to what's good in parts of London. So I think it's just our message I would say is just listen to what people say, employ local people, local volunteers, local trustees, and it's very difficult to fail.
I suppose the short story is that it's much more cost effective if disabled people manage their own care. It costs between 30 to 50% cheaper than if the local authority manage it or private agencies deliver services. But also it gets much better outcomes, that disabled people, where they're in control of their own care, they also live much more fulfilling lives.
The research is really important because it shows that actually we're all under the illusion that packaging up these huge contracts and outsourcing them saves money. You know, it may be attractive to a commissioner and think actually you can save your money by bundling this all up and getting it out the door to whoever bids the lowest. But actually the needs are not often met by some of these contracts, and you're often creating an environment where people are being passed from pillar to post, trying to access different services, and that's storing up costs down the line. You know, you're not solving people's actual problems, the things they really, really need. You're offering a one-size-fits-all solution, which is not cost-effective. So actually we're not saving money at all, and our approach is that local, by default, is the best approach. You know, community organisations are close to their local residents, they know people, they know families, and they can offer much more holistic services which will save money down the line.
One of the important things is that we don't deal with individual issues. We try and take the whole person, the whole family, and support them. We've just won a substantial contract from the local authority. Total value of traded services and the contract's about just over 10 million. And I think we're adding much, much more value to the parts of the contract that were previously run by the local authority, simply by bringing in all the other things we do and layering them on top of the existing service and weaving them through the existing service.
We're launching a campaign to try and change behaviour, to try and show and demonstrate that there's a really widespread support for these principles. So we want people to sign up on the Locality website to join the campaign. It's a way of getting updates, and we'll be launching a lot of other activities that people can get involved in to try and influence their candidates in the run-up to the general election, and ultimately to change commissioning practice at their local authority level.
We've got 1,700 service users, disabled people who are on personal budgets and take them as direct payments. And we give back to the local authority over £2 million a year in unspent money, because disabled people manage it as though it's their own money. They're very prudent with it. So they manage their budgets carefully, and then that can go back to the local authority and they can reinvest it back in services. I don't know, and the treasurer of the local authority doesn't know of any private agency that ever gives them a penny back, whether they provide the services or not, because if they're on a block contract or whatever, they will just invoice whatever happens. So for those one-size-fits-all services. So you get better outcomes, but also it's much more cost effective.
I think one of the sad things about this time of austerity is it's cutting down on the imagination that at least some commissioners used to show, and it's, no, we can't spend, cut. But actually, and they're not seeing the bigger picture. If they enable us, if they work with us, and if they work with all the other voluntary organisations who can come up with innovative solutions, we can help bring funding into the borough. We can help carry on providing a service.
If you get out there and help people whose lives have fallen off the rails, get back on the rails, you get stronger families, stronger communities. The most interesting thing is you get less demand. Isn't that the purpose of public services? And we've got an opportunity to go and argue with these people about why should I vote for you?
It's a really powerful message on Local by Default. It's we can do things better and we can do it for less money. You know, who doesn't agree with that? It's a rallying cry we want to make everybody sign up to say we can change things and we can do things differently.